It's been pretty unreal. We didn't really expect any kind of attention like this at all. We certainly never had anything like this in our life before. Got to the point where we had to turn off the phones and Facebook and Twitter and all that sort of stuff. We're pleased to come back to the BBC and sort of bookend this with you. Thanks for having me back.
Of course, we didn't get a chance to properly meet your family last time. It was under slightly different circumstances. So perhaps you can introduce your lovely wife and children now for us.
This is my wife, Chung Kim.
Hi.
This is my son, James Yusuf. His Korean name is Yusuf. And this is my daughter, Marion Yena.
Well, it's very nice to meet you properly and be able to talk to you rather than just see you running around in the background. Chung-ha, how's it been for you these past few days?
You're a little bit stressful, but we are trying to handle it. We are fine. Getting better.
The reality is, of course, is that at least for sort of 24, 48 hours, you were the most famous family in the world.
Yeah, we didn't anticipate really anything like this at all. We've gotten all kinds of sort of commentary and feedback and stuff like that. I had some woman write to me and ask me about, was I a psychic? Did I see special numbers in the sky and stuff like that? I mean, we just got this massive wave of email and solicitation and stuff like that. And we to the people in the media and stuff like that who we didn't respond to, we apologize if it seemed like stonewalling. We just didn't know how to respond. We didn't really know. We never had anything like this before.
And when you watched it back, which I'm sure you did straight afterwards, could you appreciate just what a sort of perfect piece of physical comedy it was, unwittingly?
Yeah, no, we did. And we've watched it multiple times too, and our families have watched it as well. And everybody we know seems to think it's pretty hysterical. Yeah, so we understand why people find it enjoyable, and it was sort of catching a regular family off guard and stuff. So yes, it's funny. We understand that.
And of course, Chung-ha had a major role in making it so funny, flying about the room, trying to retrieve Marion and James. Did you find it funny when you watched it back?
Yeah, we just laughed. We laughed a lot, but still, we were worried a little bit more.
Yeah, we were worried actually that the BBC would never call us again. Actually, that was actually our first response, or sort of mortification that we had just sort of completely blown our relationship with you.
Well, here we are again anyway. Can you explain exactly how it happened? Clearly the door wasn't locked, but I'm particularly interested in what happened when Chung-ha realized that the children had broken in. What were you doing at the time?
Do you want to talk?
I was recording his interview because most of the time when he is in live news, I'm monitoring his interview most
on the TV.
Yeah,
we have a TV in our living room.
Yeah.
Right. So you were next door watching it, and then you must have got the shock of your life when you saw Marion walk in.
So I couldn't think anything at the time. So it's a kind of blackout.
Yeah,
right?
Probably,
yeah, kind of
frantic.
So,
but presumably, though, you saw this on the TV and you and realised it was live, and Marion had gone in, and then saw that James had managed to get in too.
Unfortunately, it has a little bit delay. So when the Bob interview in the Skype, so I cannot see him immediately. So before I found her, so I couldn't see her on the TV, anything.
Yeah, I think there's like a 20-second delay between when I actually do it with you guys and when it shows up on the TV outside in the living room. And so my wife didn't actually realize that the children were in here until she saw it on the television 20 seconds after it had started. And I think that's why you sort of went flying down the hallway, because by then
the doors open. So.
Right. So it was, we just, she was videotaping the interview so we could have a clip of it, and the kids sort of escaped, and I had foolishly not locked the door. It's really all my fault for not locking the door.
So what did you make of the assumption from many people who saw it that Chung-ha was the nanny rather than Marion and James's mum?
Yes, I am Bob's wife, not his nanny. But how can I say, but people think that how can I say, we do not believe that I use too much force to pull the children out of the room. I did the best I could in it's an emergency to save the interview, but I apologize to Marion afterwards. So I'm sorry, everything is not normal with the kids, even right now. Sorry.
No, we understand. It's late in South Korea, and they're probably very tired. Bob, were you stung by the suggestion that Chung-ha was the nanny and not your wife? That assumption that many people made.
Yeah, we were pretty uncomfortable with it.
It's just that we did not argue about any of those, and also so we are just. I hope people just enjoy it, not argue over this thing, because I'm not nanny. That's the truth. So I hope they stop doing the arguing.
Bob, you managed to keep a very straight face through it all. What was going through your mind when you realized that an intruder had got in?
Yeah, I could actually, a lot of people, I think, didn't know this, but the Skype has a picture-in-picture, so I was actually able to see as soon as Yana walked in the door. I was actually cued to it, and so I was just hoping that my wife would eventually see it and maybe find some way to sort of run them out of the room. I tried to sort of, if you notice in the video, I tried to sort of move my daughter behind the chair. It's because we keep books and toys for the children in this room. This is my home office. And I was hoping that maybe my daughter might sit down and read a book or something, even for 30 seconds until we could just cut the interview, right? But once my son came in the little roller, then it was sort of, then there was nothing I could do. I was just hoping you guys might cut it on your end, and I was just sort of maintaining a straight face, hoping to get through it. It was, yeah, it was pretty weird.
And I suppose I have to apologize because I have a role in that, because I could have cut it short, but then if I had cut it short, then I guess people wouldn't have had the full enjoyment of what happened afterwards.
It's okay. I mean, we managed to get through the interview. I mean, at least 2 of the questions got answered, I suppose, and more people managed to see the interview than would have otherwise, so.
One question, Bob, I've got to ask you, because again, this has been much of the speculation online. Were you wearing pajamas at the time? Some people have said the reason you didn't get up at all was because either you were in your pajamas or perhaps you didn't even have any trousers on, as it was already sort of middle of the evening.
Pants. Yes, I was wearing pants.
Actually, that day, it's our daughter's birthday party at the kindergarten. We are wearing normal clothes.
Yeah, we were wearing normal clothes.
Yeah, so that argument.
Yeah.
So.
And it wasn't staged either. Yeah. Yes, I was wearing pants, and no, it was not staged. People have started asking us if it was fake so we get this attention or something. No, it wasn't.
We have a photo of that in the kindergarten.
Right.
No, it's funny, and it clearly wasn't staged, although the timing was absolutely perfect. There was one great moment for me, which was when you were still looking at the camera, but you just closed your eyes in that sort of moment of despair that every parent knows, which is, make this stop, please. Make them go away.
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, I don't want my children to think that they can't come into the room. I think if you sort of look at the clip, my daughter, she walks in doing her little dance, which I think suggests that she was sort of comfortable coming to see us. I don't want them not to come into my home office. That's what this space is. But on the other hand, I mean, I can't get much done if they're always coming in and out, and so it's kind of it's a tension. It's one of these sort of work-life issues which people brought up on the internet, and but I don't like the idea that my children feel that they can't come in here, right? That's why normally I don't lock the door. That's why my daughter just traipsed right in. I mean, we're just not like that. We want them to feel that their parents are accessible.
No, and she certainly was very, very comfortable. That strut as she walked in has given lots of people a lot of happiness. Are things getting back to normal now? I mean, when you're back at work or back with your friends, how are things going these days?
Yeah, I went to work today. That was nice. I don't turn off my phone quite as much as I used to.
There was one nice suggestion sent to me on social media, which is that you should buy Chung-ha a spa day for everything she did in that video.
Yeah, that's certainly true. My wife deserves a medal for taking care of us and taking care of our family. That's absolutely true. I should do that. Thank you. Good suggestion.